you'll get this link in the email at the end to get to Google Play. So they have the different categories. First of all, on the left side of the screen, you can check up on your Google account. Look at your Google account setup. Payment methods, if you need to, say, change your credit card or something like that for Google Play, you can do that here. You can redeem gift cards. You can buy gift cards. It's a nice way to see, and your subscriptions. You can see what have you subscribed with your Google account. That could be interesting to look at too. So all of this stuff, your wish list is here. If you're liking stuff under Google and you add them to your wish list, it'll be here. So at the top menu, near, like I'm under apps. If I go to categories here at the upper left, and I click on little down arrow, you can see all the different categories for the different apps there are. There's there's millions of apps on the Play Store. So you can come in here and you can search. There's a search bar above. If you're looking for specific things, you can find them by clicking on the search. You can see what new releases there are, what's new coming down, new apps. Looks like a new music app. So you can come in here and see what is new, or just search. Let's say I am looking for a calculator. I'm going to click on calculator, and then I'm going to see all the different calculators. I'm going to get a lot of them. And this is where being online might be handy, because if you really are looking for a specific type of thing, because it's going to take you a while to get through these. But just real quick, there's a Samsung calculator. If I just look at, I'm just going to grab one of these. I'm going to click on this one right here. You can see the information about the app, the pictures of these, what's going to look like on your phone, the screens. There's a little arrow in the middle of the screen here, where I can click on the arrow with my mouse, and it will move the screens over so you can see what it looks like, what it's going to look like on your phone. And then the best part is coming down below. You can read more about the app. If I click read more, it's going to show me all the features, any information the maker of the app wants to tell you about, and then all the reviews. So you can see, what people like and what they don't like about it. You can sit here and just read them all, do your research, much easier using it on the online like this. And if I decide I want this app, I would click the install button. And what's going to come up is if you have more than one phone attached to your Google account, they'll all be listed here if there's more than one phone. I just have the Motorola. So all I have to do is click on this, hit continue, and it's going to run the install to my phone. So you can do it right from the web. And then when you go to your phone, you'll find the app will already be there. So that's using Google Play Store online. A little easier on the eye, especially if you're really looking for, you're going to do some research on some type of app. So anyone have any questions? All right.
I do.
Hi, Nancy. Yes.
On the Google Play Store, you used to hit the top and it used to show you your apps. Now that's not there anymore. So how do you see what apps you have there?
Oh, there's a My Apps. Is that what you're talking about? I think this is it here. My Apps on the upper left-hand corner right here.
I don't go into it that way, but when I go into it on my phone, it used to be at the top, but it doesn't show anymore.
Oh, on the phone. Okay, let me look on the phone. Because right here, if I click on My Apps, this looks like the stuff that's on my phone.
Oh, that's how the computer. No, I'm talking about my phone.
Yeah, let me look on my phone here. Let's go back here.
See, it's changed up there.
It might have. I mean, they update these apps all the time. So you used to catch it in the menu here, or
Yes. So where do you get it now?
oh, you have to go over here probably to your profile.
Oh, there it is.
Maybe
My
it's
apps and
oh,
games.
my apps and games. You see that? So go to your button to the profile.
That's new. That's changed.
Yeah, they change these things all the time,
Thank you.
right? Just when you get used to it, and then they change it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the Google Play Store. So let's talk about checking our data usage. Now, if you have an unlimited data plan, you probably don't have to worry too much about this. Your phone, a lot of our phones, I know the Samsungs definitely do this. They have recommendations when you go into these areas. They'll recommend the setting that you should have on your phone. So the data, when we're looking at data, we're talking about setting data limits. You could have on your phone a warning and or a limit. A warning would be something like, let's say your data plan is a 5 gig data plan. You could put a warning at 4 gigs so that if you hit 4 gigs, you'll get a little pop-up on your phone that'll just say you hit your data limit. Nothing's going to happen. It's just going to warn you. Now, there might be a limit that you can set on your phone, and that might shut off your mobile data. So those are more of a hard, serious limit. If you're the kind of person that does have to pay extra every month because you're going over your limit, you probably should, first of all, get a different plan. But it could put a limit on it so that you don't get those extra charges. And then there's the data saver mode. What data saver does, and Samsung people at the bottom, you'll see a Samsung section to find your data usage. Might also be under connections too on your Samsung. The data saver mode, what that does is when you're at home, you're probably on your Wi-Fi, or at least you should be if your Wi-Fi can support it. When you leave your house, though, you're not going to be on Wi-Fi anymore. You'll be completely on your data plan. And what the data saver will do is it will, any apps that you're not using, they're going to be unable to do updates, do notifications. They're going to be silenced from doing any extra stuff until you're back on the Wi-Fi. I'm going to have people finding their settings. I'm going to bring my phone up. I have a Motorola G6, so when I go under settings, you'll have to go into settings to find these. Your settings is that gear icon. Looks like a gear. And it has, maybe I have green around mine. Yours might have blue. It could have silver. It could have gray coloring around it. When you're in your settings, is this the first time they've ever been in their settings for their phone? Anyone? Hopefully. If you can't find a setting, go to your search box at the top or click on the little search icon to search if you can't find it on your phone. On my phone, it's under network and internet. And I'll go under data usage. And first, I'm going to look at my data warning and limit. So I have 2 settings on my phone. I can set a warning. I have a warning set at 2 gigs. So if I click on this, it's just a setting. You can put whatever you want. And all this is going to do is if I hit 2 gigs, I'm going to get a little notification on the phone just saying you hit your limit. It's just a warning. Now, if I set the limit, when I click on this, it tells me your phone will turn off mobile data once it reaches the limit you set. So if I set it for 2 gigs, which I wouldn't want to do that because I think my plan is 5 gigs, it will shut off the mobile data. So this is something, it's kind of a nuclear option. But look at your phone, see what it does. You might have these settings, or you might have just one setting. It could be a combination of the 2. But that is a way to control your data usage if you need to. And then there's Data Saver. You should see that on your phone. Some phones will have a recommendation for you. Listen to what your phone tells you, but you can set this, and it helps to reduce your data usage when you're off your Wi-Fi. Our apps on our phones are little computers, and all the apps that you have on your phone, they do updates, they do notifications. They're doing their thing. You get a lot of times you don't really know about it until you see that notification that comes up that they maybe just did an update or something like that. But they're always doing things in the background, and that Data Saver, what it's going to do is limit some of these activities until you get back on your Wi-Fi, so you're not using as much data. Anyone have any questions about that? Carol?
That background thingy, like how do we know how important it is and who should be, which app should use this working background thingy?
It will depend on your phone on how they run Data Saver. So what you could do is go on the web and for instance, if I go, just going to open up Google. Like Carol, what kind of phone do you have?
LG Stylo 6.
LG Stylus, and then Data Saver. And that will hopefully give you information about managing it. And it tells you how to turn it on and off. And then I'll put this link in if you want at the end in the email. You can take a look at your LG. But this is for everyone. The way I search on the web, and when I have questions about my phone, put in your model and then what you're looking for. And you should get some information about your phone. It'll tell you all about it. Some phones, I know on the Samsungs, does anyone have a Samsung? It usually tells you some information about whether or not you should set it, what you should set it to. You'll have information there. But it is, again, some people, it depends on what you're doing too, because some people might limit the download of photos from like websites, things like that. It depends on how far your phone takes it. My phone, I really don't notice much difference whether it's on or off. So probably tells me it's not working too well. Other people have found differences when they're in Data Saver mode. Does anyone have any feelings about Data Saver on their phone? It's a thing to try it out. Again, if you have unlimited data, you probably don't worry so much about it. But if you do have a limit, especially these days if anyone's watching movies on TV on their phones, you can go through data pretty quick. So it's important to watch that, because even if you have an unlimited data plan, most of those data plans, there is a limit. It can be about starting around 32 gigs, some of them up to 100 gigs a month. So you'll get a notification, believe me, if you hit that limit. Yeah, some people have been surprised when they hit it. They just started binge watching something on their phone and discovered that they have a limit. So it is there, but you'll usually get some kind of warning. But so again, if you have unlimited data plan, probably don't have to worry too much about it. But if you do have limitations, you can always set the data limit or warning or the saver. I like the warning because at least I get a feel for if I do start watching things, it'll give you at least a warning. Any questions? All right, let's talk about battery saver. Under Samsungs, you go to your quick panel to power mode. Most other phones, it's going to be under settings, under battery. Now, what battery saver does is when you're off your charger, and when you get to a certain percentage, let me show you my phone. I'm going to go into settings again. And I'm going to go into battery saver. And usually what they do is they have you set a percentage. And what this tells your phone is that when I'm on battery, when the battery, like for mine, I have it set for 30%. So once my battery gets down to 30%, it's going to go into a battery saver mode, which means apps that you're not currently using are not going to be allowed to do updates. They're not going to be allowed to do notifications. It kind of stops some of the activity on your phone to stretch out the battery usage so that you can get hopefully home before your phone dies. Now, this is handy if you have an older phone. I know before this phone, I had an older phone. And, when the older phones, your battery starts getting a little weird sometimes. Mine would die at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which was really annoying because, you're out and about for the day and the battery's gone in the middle of the afternoon. So I would set this on my phone just to stretch it out a little bit, try to make it home. Of course, that phone eventually did die, but that's what the battery saver is for, is to try to, if you have an older battery, it can give you a little extra time. You can play around with the percentage. If you could know that your phone is dying at a certain point, you can try different settings on battery saver to see if it can extend it so you can make it through at least when you get home. You can try that. It's also good for new phones because if you have an older lithium battery, the type that are the nickel ones, although a lot of phones now I think are regular lithium. But if you happen to have the older style batteries, they work a little different than the batteries today. Today, the lithiums, your sweet spot for your battery settings is between 30% and 95%, around there. You want to keep your phone in that range. You don't want to keep it on the charger because what happens is the newer lithium batteries, they stop charging when they hit 100. And then what's going to happen is your phone's going to drain down to 99, and then it's going to charge to 100, and then it goes back and forth 99 to 100. That's not good. That's going to stress your battery. So once it's at 100, take it off the charger. Keep it charged between the 100 and 30 is good for most of your lithium batteries. If you go below 30, now you're hitting into a range where you're affecting the battery life of your phone. You do not want to let batteries drain all the way down like we used to do in the old days with the phones, the older phones. You want to keep them in that charge level because they have a battery life, they have a charge life. They have about 500 charges per lithium battery. And that charge life, when you get below 30%, maybe it's at 20%. It depends on your phone. But once you hit that, it's going to count as one charge life. So if you keep draining your phone, for instance, down to 10%, it probably is at one charge light every single time you do that. So that battery is, think of it, if it only has 500 charges, then that's not going to last long. So you want to try to keep it charged within that 30 to 100% range.
Okay.
Anyone have questions about that? Nancy, I think I saw your hand up.
There's no battery saver on the Samsung phone in the settings.
Oh, did you look in your quick panel under power mode?
What?
That's quick panels. I think you swipe down from the top and look for power mode.
Power mode?
Power mode.
No power mode either.
What type of Samsung do you have?
S8 Plus.
S8 Plus?
You have to go to settings,
Plus.
and then you scroll all the way down to battery and device care, and it's under there.
Okay.
Battery device here, I don't have that.
It might
You have a
also be
Samsung
settings
Galaxy?
and, let's see,
I don't
under
have that.
settings and device maintenance.
Settings, and when you see settings, do you see connections underneath it and sounds and vibration?
Yes,
Keep going down and you should see lock screen.
yes,
Keep going down, you see location. Advanced features.
No, I don't have location. Advanced features, yes.
Keep going down and then you should see battery and device care.
No, don't have that.
Do you see apps and general management?
Yes,
Okay. If you see apps, battery and device care is right above apps. Maybe it's not on your.
oh, device care. Yeah. All right, yeah.
Okay. If you click onto that, it should say something about battery there.
Yeah. And then what?
Only thing I can tell you, that gives you your battery information. And what do you want her to do next, Don?
Yeah, if just look and see, you're looking for battery saver or adaptive battery.
Well, what it says is optimize now.
Oh, okay, optimize now, yeah.
Battery saver.
That's really far down in the menu.
It is.
What was the top part of the menu?
It doesn't say usage by apps. It doesn't say, what you just said, Donna.
Okay, you have, what is it, a Samsung
S8 Plus.
S8 Plus. Okay, I'll put it in the email.
Donna, it's under settings. The first thing is connections. Then you have to go all the way down.
Okay.
At the very end. It's probably right after digital well-being and parental controls. Then you have battery and device care.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have that either.
Well, I'll put it in the email. Thank you, Gina, and thank you, Linda. It's always it's a team effort. And, at Samsung, they keep changing their menus around too, where things are. This happens with all of our phones. Adaptive battery, some of you may have noticed adaptive battery too. Let's talk about that one. If you have it on your phone, it's kind of a new feature on phones. And this one, some of the phones recommend you do the adaptive battery before you do battery saver, because it will learn your pattern as it learns that when you're on battery, maybe you go into your car and you turn on Spotify, you turn on Google Apps, you're making phone calls, you're doing text, all this stuff's happening. So once it learns your pattern, then it learns the apps that you never touch. And those apps will be silenced. They will not be allowed to do updates, to do notifications until you get back on your charger. So that is something to, you can play around with that too. Some of these, for some people, it works well on their phone. It depends on the manufacturer and the phone. Some are very aggressive when they get into these modes, and some are not. It really depends on your phone. You can try them out to see, and just to, it's a ways that you can control the drainage of your battery when you're not on a charger.
This could probably be pretty helpful. We've noticed that if we're out traveling and we pull up the map function, since it has GPS, it will continue to update and update and update. And all of a sudden, it's eating a big chunk of your data when you're out on the road or you're in traffic and trying to find your best route to get home. And then when you think you've turned it off, the sucker's still updating pinging on the GPS, and it continues to eat your data if you don't get the thing shut off well enough.
Yeah, that's true. Google Maps is really, that one really drains the data and battery. I know once I use Google Maps, you can see it going down. But you're right. I almost think you have to almost reboot your phone. You'll restart it after using Google Maps just to clear it out. Because it does seem to stay alive on your phone and drain it. But yeah, so this would be helpful to, for that type of thing. Maybe it can, when you're not using the app, it will slow it down from using things. You can try it. These are tools on your phone that you can try things out with them to see what works for you. Carol?
Because of that reason, I like to use a real GPS that you buy at the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the old-fashioned ones you put in the car.
Right. I mean, do you agree? you know, because
I mean, those are fine too. I mean, it's handy. I mean, Google Maps is very handy though. You know, you never know when you're going to need it because you could be walking around and need it. You know, just for your, you could be walking around in a city or something or a town and get lost and, you know, go use it. So, I mean, it's good for both things. But yeah, it's true. Just a regular GPS in the car will definitely save your phone.
And I wanted to ask, why do the some of the tablets run down so fast when you were talking about batteries? It's because
The tablets will have these. The tablets have these type of settings too, because your tablets are either you're on an iPad from Apple or you're on another tablet, but the other tablets are all Android. So if you have a Samsung tablet or a what are some of the other ones? Asus does tablets, all these different ones. Even Kindle really is an Android tablet. It's a little different form of Android. It's been doctored up, shall we say, a lot by Amazon, but underneath it, it's an Android tablet. So really, that's all you have. So you should have a settings. You should have a little settings button on your tablet. You can just go right into your settings and you should, you know, take a look at them and see what they have. All righty. Any other questions? Let's talk about backing up our photos. We do have a class on Google Photos if you want to learn about Google Photos. I know some Samsung people, you're not using Google Photos, you use your Samsung Photos. Same thing though, with your Samsung Photos, make sure that your photos are getting backed up on your phone. I've had a person come into this class who took the Google Photos class and said that her phone doesn't seem to be backing up to it. And it's because she hadn't set the backup and sync setting on her phone. So what you do is you open up Google Photos on your phone and you just click on the little circle with the pinwheel. Let me get my. I'm going to bring my phone up here. Okay. So it's the white icon with the pinwheel. I've got it in my lower right-hand corner of my phone. If you click on that, that's going to bring you into Google Photos. Go to the upper right-hand corner of the screen. You'll see your profile button. It's a little blue profile. Click on that. And then you're going to go to photo settings. Towards the bottom of the list, they'll say photo settings. And then at the top, you'll see backup and sync. Go ahead and click on backup and sync at the top. And then there's going to be a second backup and sync, and that's where you turn it on or off. So if you want it on, it's going to back up your photos to Google Photos. If you don't want to do that, then you can shut it off. And when you go to the website, I'll include this link in the email. You can come to the Google Photos website where you can see the photos that are backed up. You can create albums and share them out with your family and friends. If you have a trip you take or something like that, you can create an album and share it out so they can see all your photos. There's a print store. If you go to the print store, you can make prints. You can do photo books. I think we have a class on that too, how to do photo books. You can do prints, just regular prints of your photos, canvas prints you can make, all this type of stuff through the app. You can do it from the phone too. You can get into this print store from your phone.
Donna, is Google Photos something I have to get from the App Store? I don't seem to have it on my phone.
You have a Samsung?
Yeah.
Yeah. Samsung, you probably won't have it unless you've downloaded it. You can download it if you want to. But if you have a Samsung phone, you already have Samsung Photos on your app, and that should be getting backed up to your cloud storage.
Alrighty, thank you.
You might want to look in the settings, though. Look at your 3-dot menu under your Samsung Photos, or look under there and make sure you are syncing. Because because that's another thing too. You could, the last thing you want to have happen is your phone die and realize you never were syncing to the cloud. Because my last phone completely died. I couldn't resurrect it at all. It was a goner. But luckily, I was backing up, and even my what's that Google app you take notes with? It's not Evernote. What's it called? I can't think of what it is. Keep. Oh yeah, Keep. Google Keep. I had a lot of notes in there, and I think I was more upset about that because I was thinking, I don't know if I was backing it up, but I got my new phone, and there it was, all my notes, everything was there. So it helps to be backing up to these clouds because you never know when your phone's going to just go down. Anyone have any questions about using Google Photos? Make sure that you have your setting if you want to have your backup. And for Samsung people, you can be backing your photos up with your Samsung photo app and everything. But if you want to use Google Photos, you can download it from the Google Play Store, and you can put them on your phone too. So you could have you could back up your photos into two places if you wanted to. I don't know. Is anyone, that's a good question for people who have Samsung. Is there a preference between the Samsung Photos or Google Photos? Does anyone have a preference or a reason to pick one or the other?
I don't have the Samsung Photos. I mean, I use the Google. I don't know.
Use the Google. Does anyone use the Samsung Photos? And
I just realized I have it on both. I wasn't using Google Photos, but it automatically saves it on both.
Oh, okay, so you got the both words. Yeah. I was just wondering if anyone has a preference. Like, is there one app is better than the other, or anyone? No.
I never use Samsung, so I don't know.
Okay. I was just curious for myself because I don't have a Samsung, and I was just wondering if would there be a reason to use one over the other? But I guess there's. Is it that is it like you can hardly tell the difference? Is that what it is? Gina, do you know?
I was looking at my settings on Samsung, and I go into the gallery on Samsung and look at the settings. It looks like it's backing up to Google because it shows me my Google account name, and then it says sync via Wi-Fi.
Oh.
So I guess it's being backed up to Google.
So you're backing up to your Google Drive.
Yeah, it's automatic, and there doesn't seem to be a difference.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it has pictures that I thought that I deleted on gallery on Samsung. They're automatically, oh wow, my Morocco pictures. They're automatically on Google, and I've been looking for these pictures, so seems like Google keeps them longer.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Donna, is the Samsung, is that the gallery?
Yeah, gallery on the Samsung. That's your Samsung.
I have them in the gallery and the Google Photos.
Right. I was just curious because, you have both, well, some people just have the gallery. They never put Google Photos on the phone, and some people use both. I was just wondering if it's, it seems like half the time people can't tell the difference. They don't really realize they're in which one they're in. Well, at least you have two different choices with the Samsung, I guess.
Donna, when I'm in the gallery pictures on my cell phone, I thought that's on my hard drive in my cell phone. Are you saying that's also in the cloud?
Yeah, so you have your photos get saved on your phone, but then a copy gets sent to Google Photos, to their storage. And there is a setting where you can say that once a photo has been archived onto the cloud, to delete it off the phone. You can make that setting if you want, or you can make it just a copy, you have a copy in both places.
Where is that?
Let's see. See if I can find it.
I think it's automatic.
I think it's in probably the settings. I want to say it's probably in the settings for Google Photos. Let's see. I'll have to look that up. I'm not too sure where it is. But I've seen it. I've seen it where it says, "Do you want to remove the original photo off the phone?" So you do have that option if you want.
I'd like to know where that is.
Okay, I'll look it up.
It says it's backing up to my email address under backup and sync.
Mm-hmm. Which is your Google account.
Settings.
Under that
Right.
Google account, yeah. Because what happens with photos, and it's changing next month, I guess. They're changing their for high resolution photos. If you the way it is when you have a Google account, anyone, if you just open up a Gmail account, you get 15 gigs of space with Google. And right now, photos are in a different bucket. You get unlimited photo storage. It doesn't count towards that 15 gigs. The 15 gigs is for files and video files, whatever you want to store. But the photos have been always unlimited space. It doesn't count. But next month, what they're supposed to be doing is any high resolution photos, and I still don't know exactly what they call high resolution. You know, how many megapixels is that? Anything over the amount that they say is high resolution, those photos will now go onto those 15 gig of space that you have. So if you have a lot of photos and they're high resolution and they go over what Google calls, like let's say Google says high resolution is 12 megapixels. Now I know a lot of Samsungs, their high resolution photos are much higher than that. So all those photos will now go onto the 15 gigs. So you could potentially burn through your the 15 gigs that you have with your Google account pretty quick. So that's changing next month. You can take a look at your emails, because I think they're emailing people who have Google accounts about that. And you might have to check on your phone. And the way to do it, if you look at your phone, open up your camera. Just open your camera and go to your settings. It'll be a little gear, another little gear picture under your settings. And you should see the settings for your rear camera and your selfie camera. Selfie camera is the front camera that faces you. And you can look at your photo size. So for instance, for my rear camera, if I look at my photo size and I click on it, and then I see ratio, don't worry about that. What you're looking for is resolution. I'm at 12 megapixels. That's my camera. The camera's not too good on my phone. I know Samsung, you guys go a lot higher. But if, like, let's say Google says, Donna, 12 megapixels, that's it. Everything at 12 megapixels and higher goes onto your Google Drive. Well, then I could come to my camera and just maybe I should set myself at 8. And that will put me under the bar. And honestly, when you're just doing photos on your phone or on your laptop, you can't tell the difference between 8 megapixels and 12 megapixels. You can't. You really can't tell these high resolution differences unless you're going to make a canvas the size of a wall or something like that. You know, the large posters. If you're going to do large photography and it's going to be on a large print, that's where you need those high megapixels so it doesn't look blurry and weird. But if you're just doing regular looking at photos on your camera or on the web, you can't tell the difference. So that's the setting you may have to look at doing on your phone, depending on what Google ends up doing next month with this. There were people able to find their photo sizes?
It says here rear pictures 12. and the front is 8. So what is
Yeah.
that? So what
Is
do
it 8? Does it say 8 MP?
Yeah, the front.
Yeah, that's megapixels.
So is that all right? 8?
I would imagine 8's probably good because I have a feeling it's going to be higher. I think their cutoff's going to be more like the 12 or 14 range. I'm not too sure what it is, but
What about the rear? The rear is 12.
yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you'll have to see what Google says is what they call high definition. So they could call it anything. They could call it a low enough number where all pictures are going to go right over to that 15 gig if they wanted to. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. But that's what you do on your phone if you want to, play around with the settings. All righty. Any other questions? We're going to do a little exercise here. We're going to create a file. This will show you different parts of your phone you probably haven't explored. And then we're going to look for them. Because our phones are like computers. We have file managers and stuff like that. So we're going to just take a look at this part of our phone. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google Photos. Let's say you took a picture of a document. Maybe you are getting your taxes done, or you're at the lawyer, or maybe you're just, you're at the doctor's and they don't have magazines out anymore. But if you have a magazine, you took a picture of something on page, and you want to make it into a document. So as an example, the first thing we're going to do is Google Photos. So I'm going to go into my phone, and you're going to open up an image, any picture in Google Photos. We're just going to pretend it's a document of some sort. And you're going to open up that photo. You're going to select the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to select Print. There's a little menu right below the picture. You're going to have to scroll with your finger to the left to get to the Print. Let me show you on my phone here.
Yeah, but you can't print from your phone.
We're going to you can actually print from your phone. Yes, you're going to find this area, and if you ever have to print, you'll be able to do it there. I'm going to bring up my phone. I'm going to open up Google Photos. Let me go back. I'm just going to click on any photo here. I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner where the 3 dots are. Click on that. This menu that's right below the picture, you can scroll with your finger to the left, and then you should find Print at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Click on Print. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little down arrow, little white down arrow. Go ahead and click on that. And you're going to see what your print options are. Now, if you have a printer, you could go under all printers. You could set up a printer and print from your phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to click on Save as PDF. There's a Save as PDF. I'm going to click on that. And now you should be able to see your document. On the upper right-hand side, you'll see a little globe, a little circle. It might be a blue. It could be I think some phones it's gold color. It says PDF in the middle. Go ahead and click on that circle. And at the bottom or on the top, I know some models it shows up on the top. You should see a blue Save button next to it. You can click on it. You can give it a name. I can call this Purple Flower.
I don't see no blue button.
It should, or just look for a button that says Save.
I don't see anything to save. It shows my internal storage.
Yeah, you'll see a storage, but it might be below or at the top. You'll see Save. I just put in Purple Flower. I'm just going to click on Save, and that will save it, and then it will kind of go away at that point.
I don't see that at all.
I'm going to go back into the Print. So Nancy, you clicked on that circle, right, in the upper right?
Yeah, the orange circle.
Okay, and then look at your screen. It might be above or it might be below where you see your storage. You see a save?
No,
Yeah, and next to that save, you can click on that line. You can give it a name if you want.
I don't see no save. I see 3 lines and a plus at the top.
How about at the bottom area?
Nothing.
Nothing at the bottom?
Oh,
And so at the top, you see the 3 dots?
not 3 dots, but 3 lines. Oh, there's 3 dots and 3 lines next to it. That?
That might be it. Maybe you have to click on it and maybe the save button will show up.
Oh. No. No.
Oh, you know what? Nancy, did you say do you have Google Photos on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so you pulled up the picture from Google Photos, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so at the bottom, you should see the save. By the way, in the email that you get in the end of this class, you're going to get all these steps are going to be in the email. So you can try it later if you need to. All right.
So how do you print?
All we're doing right now is we're going to save the file. But if you had a printer you wanted to set up to, all you have to do is click on when you did at the top where it said save as PDF, you could click on all printers and you can find your printer and do a setup if you wanted to. All right. The second exercise, we saved a PDF. The next thing to try is doing it from the web. So go ahead into your browser. Just find an article, something to try this with. I have an article, a tech article. It's pretty long. It's got a lot of pictures in it, diagrams. Once you have your website up, look in the upper upper right-hand corner again at the 3 dots. And there's not going to be a print here, but you'll see a share button halfway down the list. You should see share. When you click on the share, you might have to scroll a little bit, but you should find a print because you can share out, you could text, you could email to people, copy the link, and there should be also an option to print. So you'll click on that print when you find it. And now we're back at that same screen that we saw before. It's the print screen. So I can click on that little white down arrow to the right and select Save as PDF. It should bring you back to the screen again where they're showing a preview. This one is it's going to be a 7-page document. This is handy, when you're, because I was in the tech industry, and when you found an article that was perfect, that you would access all the time. The worst thing was setting a bookmark on the web, and then you go one day and that website's gone. So this is where it's handy to be able to save web pages if you're in an industry, or if you like to do research and you just don't want that to just disappear on you. So this is a 7-page document. I'm going to look on the right side again, the upper right, for that globe, that round circle. It's going to be blue or it's going to be gold color. It says PDF. I'm going to click on it. It's going to prepare the preview, and now I'm going to save it. Look for your save button. It's towards the bottom of the screen for my phone. Right next to the save button, to the left of it, I can see right here, how to fix Windows 7. This is the article. This is the proper title that it has. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it, let it have that title, and then I'll just click save. And then it gets saved on the phone.
Oh, can you repeat this again?
No problem. When you have your website up, just go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You've got 3 dots.
No, I don't. On Firefox, at least, there's no dots.
Oh, I think I am on Firefox.
You are.
Yeah, on my Android, I think the Firefox is the one that opens.
I don't have anything like that. Upper right-hand corner.
It could be in another corner, possibly.
No.
You might have to look for that. What you're trying to get to is your print. If there's a share button, Mike, if you see a share button, go click the share button. Because that's what you're trying to get to, is the share.
There's no print.
Gina, did you go to your 3 dot and you go to share?
Yeah. What I usually do is just go to Gmail or WhatsApp. There's no print on mine.
Oh, there's no print. Okay. So some of the phones.
Where do you go on the phone, Donna? To this website?
I just opened up a website.
On internet?
Yeah, on the internet. Yeah, just opened up an article.
Yeah, I've never seen print on mine. I go to either Gmail message or WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. So you don't have it on yours?
No.
Okay, so, and what kind of phone do you have, Gina?
Samsung Galaxy S10e.
S10e, okay. Okay, so some of them, if you have an S10e or higher, possibly you won't have the print.
And I can even send it to my own email address too.
Okay.
I still don't know where you are there. I can't.
Yeah, I just pulled up a web page. Just go to your like right here. I've got Chrome. I guess, is this Chrome or Firefox? I don't even know.
Okay, on Chrome, I found it.
Yeah, on Chrome. Okay, then this is Chrome. Just click on your icon for the web, Nancy, and then
okay.
You'll be able to just pull up a website.
Yeah, it's all good on Chrome. Firefox is not.
So Firefox is the stickler. Okay.
Then you hit the 3 dots, you said?
Yep, and then you go to the 3 dots, and then you go to share.
Yeah.
And then look for your print. Look for your print icon under share.
Oh God, I don't have print. I have more.
Click on more. And hopefully you'll have a share.
More is all this here stuff. Oh, print. Yeah.
Print. There you go. And then at that point, you're home free. You're in the same thing we just went through with Google Photos. Go to the upper right-hand corner with the down arrow. So,
PDF. It's saved as PDF.
Yep, you can save it. Yep, you can save it as a PDF and then click on that circle. And then you can, probably it already has a title since it came from the web. The title should be there.
Just says preparing preview.
Yep.
Yeah, he's right. It's on Chrome. I very rarely use Chrome.
Oh, that could be the difference. Yeah, I should look on Firefox to see how to do that. There might be a way around it.
Yeah, the print is only on Chrome for me. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a Chrome thing. Good to know. Thank you. All this time I thought I was in Firefox.
On preview, that's all. It just keeps going round and round.
Yeah, so when you do the preview, Nancy, you're going to hit that circle on the right side, and then you will hit the preview, and then you can save it. So real quick, because we got to wrap up here, you will get the instructions. You can run through this exercise at home, but I want to make sure you can find your files. So when you look at your app folder, swipe up from the bottom of your phone, look for your apps. Most of our phones, it's either under My Files, Files, or File Manager. On my phone, I have Files, but this is where all your files are stored on your phone. So it's either under M for My Files or F for Files or File Manager. It's going to look like a little folder, like a folder you'd put into a file cabinet. Mine says Files, and when you go under there, that's where you're going to find the files you just downloaded. You should see them. They on my phone, they go into a downloads directory. If you have File Manager, the minute you open up File Manager, you're going to see all the different files that are on our phones. I'm under Files, so I'm going to go to the upper left where I can find images. If I click on images, I can find all the directories that have images on my phone. Same thing for videos, audio. Your download directory, anytime you download something, it ends up there. We have connections to our Google Drives. I have 2 connections. You might, depending on what you have. And then you might see your phone, the name of your phone. And when you click on that, that's going to show you all the physical files on your phone, all your folders that you have. So this is where everything you ever wonder, where does this stuff go? Every time I download something, I don't know where it goes. That's where it goes. It goes to your file manager on your phone. Were people able to find that?
No.
You'll get these notes. You can check. Go ahead, Nancy, swipe up from the bottom of your phone so you get into your app folder. Just swipe up from the bottom. You'll see all your apps. Go look under. They should be in alphabetical order. Look for F, the F files, and then see if you see a Files or File Manager. If not, go to My Files. Were people able to find that? Yeah. All right. You will get all of these notes in the email. You can go ahead and try it out on your phone. It's a good way to learn more about how your phone is set up. Nancy, did you find it?
Yeah, so what do you do when you get to My Files?
In My Files, that's where you can find the files on your phone. You can see where these files are. You can open them up from there. It's just like when you're on your Windows PC and you open up your file, you open up your Explorer and you can see the files that are on your PC and you can open them up. Same thing on your phone.
And I can delete them.
What would you say?
And I can delete them.
Yes, you can delete. You can get rid of stuff. Sometimes you download things from the web, you don't realize it, and you may find things that are there that you can just get them off your phone. It's a good way to take care of space. Or if you will see things that you want to save off of your phone, then you can, transfer them off of your phone, that type of thing. But yeah, this is where you can manage your files on your phone. So we went over a bit today. Sorry about that, everyone. Hopefully, again, you're going to get all these notes at the end of the class in detail, so you can go over them again and try them out. So I want to thank everyone for coming today. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about your phone today. And like I said, you'll get those notes. Go ahead and go through it again to refresh your memory and try it out. I know that the creating the file thing was a little tricky, but it brings you to an area of your phone you maybe did not really realize that it existed. And yes, you can print from your phone. That area that we were in, if you have a printer in your house, you can set it up with your phone and you'll be able to print right from your phone.
I thought the Samsung Cloud is not supported.
What did it say?
Samsung Cloud is not supported.
Where were you when you did that?
In My Files.
Oh, because you're on a Samsung. They moved to OneNote. That you might be seeing an old link to your Samsung folders, because right.
OneDrive.
What?
OneDrive. It says, you mean OneDrive?
Yeah, it's OneDrive now. Yes.
It says not signed in, so I have to sign in.
Yeah, you'll have to sign in. We do have a class on OneDrive, I believe now. If you want to learn more about that, I know Samsung people, you've been moved on to the Microsoft OneDrive now, and whether you wanted to or not. So there is a class about that if you want to learn more about that. All right, everyone. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.